everybody, how are you doing? What are we doing today? Well, to put it simply, today is a Porsche kind of day. I got a call from a friend of mine saying that he was going to go photo shoot a beautiful, really sort of one-off colored Cayman GT4. And I love me a Cayman first of all, and most of all the GT4. Obviously I spent quite a time with Shmi 150s when we did our sort of big trip down with Paul from Supercars of London and Sam from Scene 2 Glass. So I love the GT4, and I've also spent quite a lot of time with it, so I have this sort of close bond with one. So when I got the offer to come to a photo shoot, I was like, yeah, why not? Then I figured, listen, the Carrera RS, which is behind me, has not been started or driven in a little while. Actually, that's a lie. It was started yesterday, but hasn't been driven in a little while, and it's not a bad idea to drive it to blow the cobwebs out. So I was like, you know what? It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I looked out my window this morning and it was very sunny, and I was like, if we're going to a Porsche thing, then why not bring the Porsche? I didn't really want to drive the Lotus because it had just been cleaned, so we're taking the Carrera RS. I'm a little bit late, as per usual, so I'm gonna have to hop in the car now. Can't blab on for too long, but I will catch up with you either on the drive or when we're down there. See ya. Okay, so here we go. We are down at our usual location, which I'm sure you guys can recognize. This is where we do all of our photo shoots. It's called the Dig at the port, and so obviously you have the port, you have all the boats, and check the weather out. How lucky were we? Here is the car. Cayman GT4 in, what's this color called? Mexico blue. Mexican or Mexico? Mexican blue. And oh, listen to that noise. Obviously we got the RS here, looking all pretty. But I kind of crashed this photo shoot. No one knew I was going to bring this car. I knew it was supposed to be all of this, so I feel a bit bad for crashing, but hey ho. Anyways, you got the Mexican blue, the black rims, the red calipers as well, and it is such a sick spec. It's also got the 918 seats, so for those of you who know a bit more about sort of the GT4 and the history of the GT4 and stuff, those seats had a massive delay on them, so the cars that sort of came first, not many of them had the seats, so it's quite fun when you do see the seats. This one also actually has the Club Sport pack as well, which is pretty cool. So look, if I just cheekily show you here the inside, boom, you got the seats with the carbon, the Alcantara, the carbon inside here, the Alcantara steering wheel. Freaking epic. Another thing you guys might not know is that there is no lift on the GT4, so this little plastic bit in the front often gets quite scraped. So no GT4s, they don't even have the option of the lift, and they are quite low. So if you hit a speed bump, not ideal, but it is just plastic and it can bend and not crack at the bottom, so that's kind of good as well. But yeah, it is interesting seeing the two next to each other, mainly the Porsche there, how sort of tiny it looks, considering especially that this is now the smallest sort of Porsche they sell, I guess, with the Boxster, and that is like the 911, which is supposed to be sort of the bigger one. So yes, interesting morning comparing these two. I'm not sure how much longer the GT4 will be here for, but if I do get the opportunity and the guys stop taking their photos, I will try and show you around it in a bit more detail. Right, so a few little details on the inside. Just wanted to show you quickly while we have a bit of time. Obviously you got the Alcantara steering wheel, which I think they all have. And these are the seats, like in the new GT3 RS and the 918. Then you got the Club Sport pack, the whatever you call that, roll cage, Alcantara, carbon. Freaking cool. I'm loving this. Love it, love it, love it. And then round back, you obviously got the diffuser. These big rims, I don't know what inch they are. I could check on the wheel, but I'm not going to do that now because the guy's in a rush. And yeah, I've always thought it might be quite cool if you put these in black. I don't know what you guys think. Could be a cool, fun little touch if you put the wing mirrors in black. That's what I would do with this car. I'd put the wing mirrors in black, that right there in black, and the windows, and probably the lights. But that's mainly because I'm about 12 years old and I think I'm a gangster, so I tend to just black everything out. I love this little, these always show you that it's like a GT car, so they have those on the GT3. I don't know if that's useful at all. Obviously the bigger grills over the normal car, and yeah, and this double wing, which I think is one of the coolest things got the wing that's usually on like the Cayman GTS. It sort of goes into the lights, and then you've got the bigger wing there. I do love it. I do love it. And then also, fun fact, lots of people think these are like speakers back there, those things. But actually, if you can take those out, and then you can see the engine, obviously, because the engine's in the back there. Then you've also got two little funky storage elements. Where's the burnout? The GT4 had to leave, however we've stayed because these guys haven't yet gotten photos of the RS, so I figured we might as well do that, and I think we might get a cheeky McDonald's after. I haven't had McDonald's in ages, and I have like a sudden craving for like a cheeky little thing of nuggets, so I think that's what we're going to do. But the Porsche is looking really, really rather tasty in this sun, so actually I should probably take a Snapchat. If you guys don't follow me on Snapchat, Seb_Delanney. But then I'm looking at these people rowing, like, how freaking freezing does this look? He's in bloody shorts and a t-shirt. That man is mad, although respect, I'm not gonna lie. Boats in the port, we got that cheeky massive one. Apparently that's the Prince's. And yeah, there we go. Just thought I would vlog today because, you know, why not? And some cool cars around. Hopefully we might see some in town. Maybe I'll go for a spot of spotting. I don't know, we'll play it by ear. I came to park, and this is my parking neighbor, 4C Spider, which I haven't really seen before. It's got a roof sort of similar to the Lotus. It's like that cloth roof. Oh, it's got carbon that goes up here. I don't know if you can see that. And then it's got those sexy lights at the front. I'm sorry, Sam, but I wasn't a fan of the lights on yours. But this is very nice. And then, obviously, we got the Porsche. Here's another cheeky car park find. A matte grey, dark grey, Aventador with an orange interior, so that's very nice too. I do like this a lot. What sort of wheels has it got? It's got the matte satin grey as well. Matte satin grey, is that a thing? That's very nice. Lovely spec. So we've parked the Porsche there. Come see this. This is, I'm not sure if it's real or not, but apparently Ferrari 250. So if this is real, that's like 50 million quid's worth of cars. And I nearly just fell on that freaking ledge. I don't want to sort of get too excited until I know it's real. Also, everyone's looking at me like, why the hell is this guy talking to himself? And look, how beautiful is that? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And all the photographers doing their thing. And there it goes. Real or fake. Here he is. Looking cool. So I've just had news from you guys on Instagram. I asked you on my Instagram whether this car was real or not, and you said that it's actually a replica. So that, I mean, still very cool to see, but it's not a real one. And I also noticed these people here are just prepping to get the helicopter ready to fly off their boat. So that's bloody cool. Some people are living a pretty good life, aren't they? That is insane. Although it's actually not too bad this end either. I'm just going to take the Porsche now. I think we're heading to Ferrari for a little surprise. Alright, I found a way to somehow lock the camera into this little area of the car here. I have a lot of explaining to do. I have had one of the most hectic days you can imagine. Basically, I don't even know where to start. You guys saw the GT4, obviously, like the photo shoot with the RS and stuff. When did I last film? You then saw the fake 250 California. Yes, okay, I think that's when I last filmed. I was there and I had bumped into a Ferrari salesman earlier that day who, there was the GT4. Random. Anyways, so I bumped into the Ferrari salesman earlier while I was driving this car, and he told me that I should come over and he had a car for me to test drive. so it's actually quite loud. Right, let me just close the windows. So anyways, he told me he had this car for me to drive, so I'm like, great, listen, I'll come over. He told me this before lunch, just after the GT4 photo shoot, and I was like, listen, fantastic, I'll see you there for 3 o'clock. Everything's planned, everything's going well. Go see the Ferrari California, it's about 2:30. And then all of a sudden I'm like, listen, I'm gonna go for a little drive around Monaco, see if there are any cool cars to take photos of. If not, I'm gonna head to Ferrari. I'm just cruising, and then out of the blue behind me, police lights. So I'm like, oh, what the hell, this is kind of weird. So I decide to pull over, obviously, because that's what police want you to do. So yeah, I pull over. And then I was driving, I was really just not driving that fast. I was really chilling, so I'm like, what do they want? And basically, I stop, and they get out the car, really sort of pissed, and I'm like, what have I done? You know, like, why are you pissed at me? Long story short, this car had, and you'll understand why I say this in the past tense in a bit, it had English plates in the front, and American plate in the back. And the story behind that is basically the owners, ItWhiteNoise, have the car based in New York, but they had these really cool sort of personally tailor-made English plates on the car. So they didn't want to take those off, and they were sort of matching the car with the black and everything. I mean, you'll be able to see it in the other videos. So they were really cool. So they were like, let's just put the other plates on top of it. So that's what they did. Never had any problems. Anyways, the police stopped me, and they're like really pissed about this. They're like, we're going to need to keep the car. We're going to need to do all this stuff. And I'm like, listen, I'm obviously not in that much of the wrong. Can I just take the English plates off? And they're like, you need to take the English plates off, and you need to destroy them. I'm like, what the hell? No, like, these are really nice tailor-made plates. So I'm like, listen, can I actually just cover them, put some tape on them, and then sort of problem solved? You can't see the other plates, I get to keep the plates on the car, well, ItWhiteNoise do, and there we go. No, you need to take them off. There's a garage right down the road. You're going to follow us to the garage, and we're going to stand next to you until the plates are off the car. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what is this all about? So, why are there photographers on this road right here? So I'm like, listen, if you want, follow me, do what you gotta do. So I get back in the car. They're still not very happy at this point. They then follow me to this garage place. So I arrive with a freaking police motorcade, and I tell them, look, can you just remove these English plates? So the police stand next to me while I have these plates removed. There's some joker trying to overtake on this little road. While I have these plates removed. The plates get removed, fantastic. Then, I suddenly remember, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about my Ferrari test drive. So I call up the Ferrari dealer. I'm like, look, I'm coming, I'm so sorry. They had to move all the cars to get the car out for me. I end up rushing to the dealership. None of this I filmed because I was just sort of all over the place rushing. Rush to the Ferrari dealership, and then for about an hour, have a full cruise nearly all the way to Italy in a gorgeous Ferrari California, and I have no footage of it or any photos to post on Instagram because I was so stressed about the whole other car thing. However, a friend was sitting in the back, and he gave me some footage that he filmed on his iPhone. So here's that footage now. Juste là.
Sport. Parfait. Vous accélérez à fond jusqu'au prochain virage. À fond.
Ouais. Ouais, mais c'est 0 à 100 combien?
3,6.
Ouais, pas mal. C'est tellement bizarre de venir de la Porsche là-dedans, tu vois. C'est vrai, pas trop besoin de...
Ouais, pas trop.
So yeah, there we go. I was only supposed to be out till about 11 o'clock, have a morning photo shoot. Ended up being a lot later than that. And now it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've driven a Ferrari, nearly got arrested by the police. What an odd day. What a weird Saturday. But still got this to listen to. Don't know if you can hear it. Oh. I'm home now, and after what has been a really hectic day, what I really feel like doing is going back downstairs, and plugging my camera into my computer and just watching the footage to see exactly what did go on today, because it's all such a blur. But the car's back now, all good. Let me show you. Only a New York plate now, and if I get the key out, I can show you maybe as well here. Only no plate. Basically, the situation is in America, you don't need to have a front plate necessarily, so it's fine only having the rear license plate. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'm sorry if this was a slightly hectic vlog and it kind of all over the place. But also Twizzy's just chilling here, looking all dirty. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching, and I will be back with some more vlogs very, very soon. I'm not sure what's going on in the next few days, but if today's anything to go by, it'll be completely unpredictable. So I'll see you soon. Cheers for watching. If you aren't already, please remember to subscribe. And yeah, cheers. Bye. Right, look what's happened now. The big guns have come out quite literally. I've got this massive water gun, and this is probably the world's most fun thing in the world. Wow! So I just read the instructions for this, and we actually had to do this after we've cleaned the car. So I've got a bunch of normal car shampoo and stuff. I mean, it's not the Michelin King levels of cleaning, but I do have to put this on, but only after the car's already been cleaned and when it's in a shady area. So let's get car cleaning now. Here's what's happening. I'm going to spray the car and get it all wet and everything, and then Jerry's going to go around with the soapy, whatever you call this thing, and wipe the car with soap. And then obviously we've got a clean pot. It doesn't look that clean, but it's a lot cleaner than this one. And then he's going to use that to rinse, and then I'm going to come back around and rinse the soap off. That's the plan.